Yes, did. Okay. I guess I should turn my phone down. Not yet. Not yet. Uh,
Should say.
okay. No, I see for the Zoom it told me, but uh we should be live, so we could probably just start.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome everyone to the Empower Our Talk show. I am Al Kumar.
And I am Hanifa.
And of course, we have a super special guest on the show with us this evening that really needs no introduction. Really, really, unless you are like 5 years old or you've been hiding under a rock for the last like 25 years. We have the one and only Professor Griff on the show with us this evening.
That's supposed to be the round of applause.
How you been, Professor?
I've been all right. I've been surviving the pandemic and everything, So yeah, good.
Yeah. How's your wife?
She is absolutely fine. She's taking groups of women to different countries and doing sister circles and doing the healing work that she does.
Yeah. Beautiful. Please send her our blessings.
Oh, give thanks. I'll definitely do that.
We are going to be talking. We're going to jump right into the discussion this evening. We apologize for the little slight delay. We was having some technical difficulties, but we worked it out. We're talking about the psychological covert war on hip hop, which is also the title of one of your books.
Right.
And I chose that because it's just like, that is pretty much what's really going on. No sense of going outside of that to even try to grasp a title, because you came up with the most brilliant one that I've heard thus far that kind of encapsulates the what we're dealing with.
Right. And I think a lot of people overlook the fact that there's being a war waged against us, against the soul, against the psyche, against the culture. And I think we overlooking the fact that even though it's a war being waged against these particular things, we have to also understand, of course, using our hindsight, using our insight, and understanding the foresight. You understand what I'm saying? That we're sandwiched between a war that's going on in America between white people. I mean, if you really look at it, when you talk about on a psychological level, it's a war being waged. They're waging a war against themselves. America's at war with itself. We're just sandwiched in between. And here we are thinking that we're going to choose sides and survive. The black Republicans think that they're going to survive on the Republican side. And so does the Democrats. So it's like, yeah, no. That's not going to work. Not for us. This is a system that was designed by them, for them. And guess what? It's working perfectly fine for them. They designed a two-party system. So when the two parties go at war with one another and they bump heads, this is what you get. When you can't get a bipartisan vote on anything, it's going to be a stalemate. And this is what we're living in right now.
Yeah. And
then on top of that, add on the 1% that don't care about either party that's controlling both parties. They want to see all of them destroyed.
Yeah, that's real talk. That's currently where we stand. And it seems like the war is being fought on every angle possible. I mean, you can own everything you could look at and consider. It is a war being waged in that category.
Right.
All over the place.
Yep.
And the music industry is no different.
Right. So, but you could take the music industry and put the music. It's a lot of people, and this is no insult to anyone, and then narrow-mindedness want to put music at the top of the charts.
Right.
And the music is not the number one thing. It's a psychic war that's going on right now. They just got people thinking, got them thinking they got to take the jab and the overhand right and the hook. For real. And I've lost so many friends just within the last 6 months. Like, either some didn't want me to know and some took it secretly, and a couple took it and it ended up dying. And You understand what I'm saying? A close elder, now ancestor of ours, took it, and who would have known? It's like, dude, what you doing? We're looking at you for guidance. But you doing that? No. So we got to reevaluate this thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. How do you maintain your sense of sanity through it all?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's built into what the Creator deposited in me and gave me my assignment. I accepted the assignment, and the Creator gave me those things that that I needed to survive. Some damn common sense. I stay centered. I stay grounded. You understand what I'm saying? And I laugh every day. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
People would not want to look at a 60-minute documentary film about Professor Griff's life. You understand what I'm saying? They'd be like, man, how you do that?
Yeah.
It's just a lot. It's a lot to take on, but this is no one else's life to live but mine. So a lot of times I can look at your life and be like, man, that sister, she made it through some hard times, man. How did she get on this show and smile? How did she do it? But see, I don't live your life. You understand what I'm saying? My life demands me and commands me to live a plant-based lifestyle. My life has demands that it puts on me to say, no, you can't hang out at clubs and hang out with negative people and drink and smoke and sometimes do this and every now and then do that. No, I can't do that living the life I live. You understand what I'm saying? With my assignment came the set of instructions, and I paid attention to it. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't do the flashy stuff. I can't do the new trends. You understand what I'm saying? I can't, be with that chick that's the Instagram model and doing all other kind of stuff that's contrary to what I say I know and understand to be the truth. And I'm bringing other people to that path. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I can't have these contradictory things that are going on, i.e. traveling around the world, learning about cultures, teaching people, but I'm taking a jab. No, we don't talk the talk. We got to walk the walk. You understand what I'm saying? And because now, to be honest with you, I woke up this morning, one of the first things I said to myself is like, man, the Creator is pulling the cover off of everybody. And this thing that we're going through right now is showing us who these people really are. It's showing all the sellouts, the Negroes, the Negropeans. Even with Lil Nas X doing this thing on the award show, I saw people in the audience that I know applauding. Yeah, you diggle your gannat again.
That's
right. But I said to myself, oh, okay, I'm glad you're showing your true colors. And I'm like, that's cool. But you see, these people got to make their move, and then we got to decide with the information that we're given, and we got to position ourselves in individuals' lives. For example, my brother passed away. They didn't want to say he had COVID or whatever, but he fit the description. Overweight, bad eating habits, not exercising, these kind of things. Smoked the weed majority of his life. He had stopped, but trying to get his health back, started eating right, but the Creator says, you know something? You got a existing condition, and this thing that's out here now, which a lot of us just don't know what it is. It's just, it's the tipping point. It's a tipping point for a lot of us.
All over the world.
And a lot of us are making excuses on why we have to take it. Someone said that to me the other day. I said, what's wrong with you, man? He says, man, I'm trying to decide which one of these things I got to take. I said, why do you have to take? He says, I said, you ain't even got that kind of job that they force you to take anything. You know what I'm saying? The dudes you hang around, they smoking and drinking something else. So I don't even know why you even having that conversation with yourself. You understand?
That's definitely something that I noticed, and we've talked about that as well, Alkema, where I mean, even before they really even started pushing it, before it was even mandated in some, like at some jobs, people were literally jogging to go and get this thing. And I'm just like, that's a matter of like your consciousness. That's really what it boils down to, you know, not your performative sense of awareness, but like real awareness, consciousness, God in the mind and the spirit, because you all they said was boo and you jumped. I mean, that's it. They didn't have to do not. They didn't have to wear a mask. They didn't have to, I mean, all they had to say was boo when you jumped. So for me, I was just more so like, you don't want to wait and kind of like see this thing through. No.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you, Professor Griff. Before there's a lot of people like your friend where it's like your job hasn't even mandated it, you know. So there's a yeah, but that's fair. That's what fair does.
And it's ignorance too, because even in the realm of like travel, I hear a lot of people really think that they have to get this shot in order to travel, and it's like that out of the United States, I should say, and it's not true. And
No.
but that's what happens when you don't exercise your own mind and utilize your own utensils up here to be able to go ahead and figure these things out for yourself. You take on what assumptions and you follow what other people tell you to do.
And you submit to
it
other
could be
people's
wrong as
fears.
two left shoes, but you still follow.
Right. And they submit to other people's fears. They buy into other people's fear. And then they align themselves with other people's false notions, ignorance, ill-informed, fear, and that's what they go on. That's the conversation at the water cooler, because the ingredients that they put in the jab, a lot of people don't want to take the time to learn how to pronounce it, to even understand some of the terms. They just give up. Terms are too hard to pronounce. I don't have time to study it. My job, you work at Pizza Slut. How in the hell do you have to take the jab? You work at Walmart at night. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, no, you work under the back of a garbage truck. And I'm not belittling any of these jobs.
Right.
But I'm just saying people are acting out of fear to the point where they're pushing this fear on family members and friends.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then in my case, I have family members and friends that are just ducking me. They don't want to have the conversation because they already know what I'm going to say. Yeah, they already know. So Al-Kamar, since this thing hit, I've been out of the country twice. But because I have a plant-based lifestyle and I'm centered and I'm conscious, you understand what I'm saying? Now, mind you, my wife had it twice. Never went to a hospital, never went to a doctor. We just went went inside the self and pulled those things out with what we know, put some things together, and it was done. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So she's a testament that something is out here and it's attacking the immune system. And she even said, when I went to Egypt and when I went to Hawaii and when I went to there and I went to there, I let my guard down because she's been traveling. And she said, I let my guard down and I didn't do the regiment that we accustomed to doing. You understand what I'm saying? And she says, yeah, I know now. I'm like, okay, cool. Long as you know. Yeah. So she's fine. Probably stronger now than she's ever been.
Yeah. And I know we were, starting off talking about this whole covert war on hip hop, but it all correlates. It really does. It all correlates because it's a, I don't even know if it's a covert war anymore, Professor Griff. Do you still see it as being covert? Because for those who really pay attention, it's so obvious what's going on. I mean, look at how they killed like 5 sitting presidents in 1 year over in Africa.
Right, it's 6 now, yeah.
Tried to kill the brother. He sabotaged that one. Madagascar. You know, and how all this new information is revealing itself about what's happening to your actual genes. What this spike protein is doing to your genes. They put them under the microscope. A person who's taken the shot, many people who've taken the shot versus those who didn't, and they compare the cells, and the cells are damaged. You know what I'm saying? All this is concrete evidence that we can actually point to and prove. And so it's like, and how, what I'm hearing more about more deaths and more severe injury from this jab than the actual COVID.
Yeah, that information that they're not going to release. So let's pull it back a little. You said you don't know if it's covert anymore. Well, when you look at the word covert simply means hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you and I and Hanifa. What's your name again, sis?
Hanifa.
I'm bad at names.
You did well.
Okay. You see, we are one of the ones, or 3 of the ones that know. So it's not hidden to us, but nonetheless, to the average person, what we're talking about is still hidden. The individuals that are fostering and putting this thing on us, we still don't know who these individuals are. We may know aspects of the plan. We see the results of what they put on us, but the average person still doesn't know.
That's
so
true.
To a certain degree, it's still hidden. It's still covert. Now, is it on the evening news? No. Aspects of it is on the evening news, but they're toting the line.
One side, one narrative.
Right. If you could switch to 8 different channels all within an hour and they're saying the same thing. And so a minute ago, I don't know if they're still doing it because I didn't watch the news for the last couple of days. It's the ones that didn't take the jab. They're blaming it on them. So that's the narrative now. And they're going to run with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to show you a couple of deaths. And then they're going to show you a few more entertainers. Now listen, and and it's tying right in, because when we talk about covert, why is it that we don't want to talk about how the brother from Oakland just passed away a couple of days ago? What's the brother's name? The rapper. His name escapes me. Zion. What's the brother?
Somebody help him out on the stream.
I don't know who that is.
Never come to me. Friday he passed. So no one wants to talk about how he passed. Our good brother Renoko Rashid, Dr. Renoko Rashidi. No one wants to talk about how he transitioned. So what's the secret? See, it's
DMX.
See, we're taking on now those characteristics. We don't even want
G.
No, not Shock G.
Not Shock G.
His brother just passed on Friday.
I don't know who that is.
Iron Eye. What's the name of his? He had a group called. It'll come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, we still don't even want to have the conversation. It's almost like once again and yet again, the fat, white, ugly, stinking elephant is in the living room, and we got to walk past it every day, and we don't want to talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? So, but not only that, how many people in the music industry done passed, in the sports world, in the entertainment world, done passed from not only the jab but the right hook, and then we act like that's nothing. It's like, no. When I saw the brother, I knew it was a wrap after Hank Aaron. Was it Hagler, the boxer, Hagler, and the brother from the Tuskegee syphilis experiment? When I seen this Negro getting jabbed in the arm, I'm like, bruh, yeah, nah, It's gonna be hard for us to explain to young people how this works. You were there, man. You were part of it. You survived it. And then you turn around and do this? Nah, come on, man.
And it seems to me that it's going in stages and phases. If the beginning phase was the elderly, and then it moved into the general population. Now they're targeting the women, pregnant women and children. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, so what, you know, it's like, it's so, for me, I know, I get you. It's so obvious to some of us. But I guess when, if all you do is get your source of information from that one-eyed monster, then it would be difficult for you to kind of put all the pieces of the puzzle together, because the fear factor really stunts your ability to critically think.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, it's like you froze. It's a term, frozen in fright. So you're so afraid that, you know what I'm saying, any logical thoughts don't really get a chance to resonate in the mind, because all you know to do is react to the fear that the TV is telling you to have.
Right, exactly. If we would just look at common sense, I don't care what it is, because we've survived it all.
Yeah.
Talking about our people. The fact that we're gonna be here is the fact that we're here.
Yes.
Right.
That's all that they put on us.
That's right.
So you mean to tell, without me saying that I'm a conscious individual, you mean to tell me you're gonna come to me and tell me to put this experimental thing in me that you yourself haven't even approved? Does that make, just on that level, that one thing, does that make sense though? Nah. I remember one time I went through this period where I just said to myself, okay, Griff, you coming out of this young, fast, you on the third lane speeding, you understand what I'm saying? You hanging out with this one, that one, whatever. So I just said, well, okay, well, let me see if I can put some of this stuff to the test. I said, well, the next time I decide to get into something real serious as far as relationship is concerned, I'm gonna say, well, let's go to the clinic first. Well, let's go to the doctor first. I got a doctor that we can see in a different state. Nobody, and no one really knows you. They barely know me. We can fly there and we can both get checked out so we can enter this thing right. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the fear alone frightens some of these people. You understand what I'm saying? It's like we almost like we don't want to know. So you mean to tell me you'd rather jump into this thing with an individual blindly? You understand what I'm saying? Dr. Frances Cress Wilson said, I was with her one day. I was driving her to a lecture that we were putting on here. So, you know, I was on the security detail and I picked her up. So she was in the car with me. And she was saying that she has tried to tell so many. Now, I don't know if you all know that sexually transmitted diseases now in Atlanta is on an all-time high. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I heard
So rather than give some of these new things names, they give them numbers, but we're not going to talk about that. But she said that the micros, these things are so small, the diseases are so small that they're coming right through the condoms because the condom has to breathe the material that the condom is made out.
Wow.
So even with the thought of that, you rather go into this thing blindly. So I'm circling back around to this other thing. You mean to tell me you're going to allow these people with a history starting way back when? We're talking about the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the rest of them. All right, the UN and all the rest of them that were in cahoots on the African continent. To that situation dealing with AIDS, Africans in deep shit, to now. To everything that we went through, to the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, medical apartheid, everything that they've done to us. Lied on every level, every stage of the way about every goddamn thing. And you mean to tell me this is the person you gonna trust, but you won't fly to another state with me to go to the doctor? Come on.
You know, there's so much out there that tells us not to be hasty in trusting the media. as we're speaking, the book Confessions of I think it's an Economic Hitman comes to mind, and I'm thinking about what's going on in Afghanistan right now. And I'm just like, even when we get our news and how filtered it is when it's coming out of like from other countries, we don't see what happens behind the scenes or in the shadow. We see what America wants us to see because America is in control of her own news. So why would I report something that paints me in a bad light? But no matter how many people, that book alone, right, is loaded. And I didn't read, there you go. Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Yeah. Even the interviews that I've seen, I'm just like, the information is out there, and yet still we find it in ourselves to trust. I just don't know what that is. Why do you think no matter how much information is out there that people still seem to trust this system and trust this nation? What is it? What is that about?
I think they've inbred in us this whole idea of this white savior kind of complex. We're just we're waiting on a savior. And we don't know, once we come back to ourselves, we're the self-savior. We're the ones that's going to save us. You understand what I'm saying? It's no one outside of the self is going to save the self. We have to start looking inside of the self for the solutions to the self. As long as we keep looking outside of the self, we're never going to solve the solution. Even 5 years down the road, those that took the jab are not going to be able to have children, not healthy ones. Mental retardation is going to be on the rise. With a weakened immune system, carrying a child to term is going to be a very difficult thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. You all right. So a lot of these things, we're not looking at it because we're not looking down the road. We're looking at right now as we speak. And the music industry has suffered on every single level. I did a Zoom call with myself, Soleil, Black Dot, and Red Pill. Red Pill was responsible for giving the part of the talk about how the music industry finances are going to be affected moving forward. So he talked about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency moving forward and how artists are going to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? So when he had that particular talk, he was basically talking in reference to what is the currency going to look like moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying this, I'm not putting this out there for anyone to be fearful, but what if you put in a position where you won't be able to get the check because everything is digital unless you prove this thing that we've been saying all along? Now, I'm not going to say it because they might shut your Facebook page down. But we already said that the COVID 19, right, was an acronym, right or wrong. We already said it was an ID card, and guess what they're doing now? You have to have your papers, your ID card. We already said that 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. We've been saying that. But channels were taken down. I know mine was. They blocked me, redirected my URLs. You understand what I'm saying? And right now, this is what we're looking at. If you go back to my early lectures, I'm talking about 15 years ago, when I was talking about Big Brother, the implantable viral microchip, and also other stuff. Some people told me I was crazy. And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. In order for you to get that check, the digital bag, because now they're saying they got to wash the money because these viruses now can live on surfaces. Like they said, the AIDS virus can live on a dry plate for 48 hours. So now they're saying the virus can live on the money, and when the money exchanges hands, we're passing on this. And a minute ago, you said it was airborne.
That's the next phase.
You understand what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, so then you ran down the people that, they said it was going to affect, and now we're down to pregnant women and children. And because the general population of conscious people, more conscious people now than I thought was going to stand up or standing up. You understand what I'm saying? They was offering what? Money $1 million lotteries for this, take the jab, right? Weed, remember? They were offering weed. Wait, what state was that was offering weed? Milwaukee?
Here in DC?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, really?
They was offering dates with celebrities. They was offering all kinds of stuff, man. I'm like, you don't have to do all of that. If it's what it say it is, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to trick people.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So they got a long roster of entertainers and artists to speak up for them. I got blasted for this recently. Your man Quest Hate, y'all might know him as Quest Love. Spook Lee. I'm trying to get some famous ones, y'all know. There's a long list of them. I swear. I swear, it's like
it is a lot of them. Now, and I was going to ask you too on the side of, you know what I recognized the other day, Griff? I recognized that a lot of the social media influencers on the conscious circuit, quote unquote, I'm noticing, I'm like, now where, you know, where are all these major voices that we're so used to standing up on behalf of issues that relate to us, social issues, and now they're quiet about this thing. I know you know what's going on. I know you know that the people need to hear from you, but why are you so quiet on this thing? Is it because you know that, you know, if you speak too loud about it, that they may shut your thing you got going down too, and that might affect your money? You know what I'm saying? I'm watching with 3 eyes this whole thing play itself out. Who are you really working on behalf of? Who are you really serving? That you know what's going on out here, but yet and still you choose any other topic outside of this thing here because you know you watching everybody else get shut down for speaking out, and you don't want to get shut down, so you want your money to keep flowing. So you just ignore this issue here, which is the major. What other issue currently right now is going on that can top this? We dying. We dying out here left and right. I mean, we dying from a lot of things, but come on. This thing is like knocking us off.
I think they're trying to find a way to discuss it without getting shut down. It is a chess game. We do have to admit it. It is. And even with this conversation we have, and there's certain things we just got to talk in code. We got to shift back to ebonics or slang.
But I'm hearing a lot of them not touch this, breach the subject at all.
That was my point, and you're absolutely correct. Even when they're not on their platform, even when they're on a platform, and there's something that we can name where you can get on and talk about whatever you want to talk about, and they won't shut you down. They won't even get on there and do it.
Right.
And I'm on some of those things, and I look for these people, and they're not there.
Me too. That's my point.
They're just not. They're not there.
So this thing is revealing a lot.
Yeah. And the last one to come out after a year is your man D.L. Hughley, which I had an issue with. And he's just blasting everyone who's making, I guess, we're selfish. And we're making endangering other people. I'm like, no, I think the other people are endangering our lives, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm responsible for my own health and welfare. I'm not putting that in the hands of the people in the white coats. I'm not doing that.
And it's an all-out power struggle at this point. It's a war because
America's at war with itself. And then I think, but because we're caught in the middle of it, I think we're trying to find the kinder, gentler slave master to side with. Yeah. Yeah.
The one that won't require us to rise up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. But I was also going to say that I think what the pandemic, what has been revealed this year, beginning last year, another thing too is that it doesn't really matter how much money you have, if you are not self-sufficient. And people, and I know it sounds crazy to even think that somebody that has money wouldn't be self-sufficient. But I'm talking about, like, if you can't feed yourself, like, there's a lot. As I'm listening to the both of you guys speak, and then when you just mentioned Hughley, I'm just like, at least from my understanding, there's like a special need child that he has. I'm thinking about all of these people who have, I don't even know what you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and say your weak spot. And I hate to use that, because for a lot of us, especially mothers and women, children are our weak spot, right? And what's coming to the surface is that a lot of people are not as self-sufficient as they should be, because you're still dependent on someone to feed you and clothe you and shelter you, not just you and yours. And so it boils down oftentimes to, well, I need to protect my children. I need to protect my child. Or if you have a parent who is elderly, I've heard this conversation. Well, my mother is already fragile, and so I needed to go and get the job. So there's a lot of like factors involved, but I think what it's revealing, and if not just for us, even for yourself, it should have caused a lot of us to kind of look at ourselves, and see where we could start tightening up as far as divesting as much as possible from this system. Because
divesting and then investing in ourselves. And I don't want to mention no names, but we have millionaires that live in many mansions that if their lights went out, they walking around with candles like you and I. It's like, wait a minute, you got the means to have backup generators and solar panels and all this other kind of stuff, but it's like, come on, man. So we're in this digital system right now, and anybody's money can get shut down.
Yes.
I just walked through the jungles of Belize. Every step I took, man, it was hitting me like, wow, they could shut this thing down when they want, and we will starve after a week. But these brothers, the Mayan brothers, the Black African brothers, some of the brothers, the expats, and some other brothers that are there in Belize and other places like Belize, can walk and identify certain plants and know that that's good. That one's for medicine. That one's for healing. That one's for this. You understand what I'm saying? Pick it, take it in the kitchen, prepare it, and we have food. Right from the forest, from the jungle, right to your plate, and you won't starve. You understand what I'm saying?
My dad used to say, you can live as long as you know how, and know how is knowledge. That come to mind hearing you talk about them brothers in Belize.
Exactly. So if the lights went out right now, most of us would scramble. The food that you just bought is in your freezer, will go bad after 4 hours. Right or wrong, because look what happened when this thing hit. People were scrambling and fighting and killing one another over goddamn toilet tissue.
Toilet paper.
So if they will fight over toilet tissue, imagine food, water.
And it's coming.
You understand what I'm saying? And then we sit and we don't prepare.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. It's more so like, that's the other part too, but not just even prepare physically, like we need to prepare spiritually too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's what I've been kind of processing a lot these days is that how much we're really going to need to depend on the divine within ourselves, and the person who keeps coming to mind is just like when you read and you listen to the story of Harriet Tubman and like the ailment that she had, and she had these sleep spells, and you think about like this woman, like how she was able to, find her way. Like that's not her. That's like divine guidance. That's something you got to tap into. Exactly. And so I'm just like, you can read all the books you want and all of these things. Knowledge is only going to get you but so far. Because when you hit the fork in the road, okay, there's no book in the world that's going to be able to see, Griff, when you hit right here, you need to go left or right. You're going to need that divine intervention. You're going to need to tap into that. And so I'm really big on, while we are taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, we really need to cultivate our spiritual, the spiritual part of us as well, because that is also going to come in handy.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
this is that fork in the road though. We're living, this is the fork in the road right now.
Right. It's coming in handy now based on your decisions of what you're doing right now.
Right. Exactly.
That's the spiritual realm. You
So
moving it.
right. I'm in a conversation with some brothers that said, okay, let's put what we claim that we're about to the test. From the time you woke up to right now, we're talking, bro. It's like about 7 o'clock. So what did you put in your system to nourish your system on a spiritual level? What did you put in your system to protect yourself from what you claim is out here? You said something is out here. You got the designer mask on and the whole bit. So I'm like, well, how are you protecting yourself, man? You got a Gucci mask on. You know what I'm saying? Double whammy. So I'm like, how are you protecting yourself? And then, you know, brothers get all cocky and the testosterone kick in. Then they want to pound on their chest and act tough. I'm like, come on, bro. Just answer the question, man. I'm talking about the regular barbershop talk, right? You know what go down in the barbershop. So I'm like, well, look, I woke up this morning. I made sure I put something green in my system. You understand what I'm saying? Right from Remember Foods. All right, some emerald greens. Shook it up. I got something green in my system. So my system is awake and alive right now to do what it's supposed to do. Living foods in a living body. All right, then in 3 hours later, get a little bit something in your system. And then you got to start protecting yourself. If you claim something is out here, my wife would tell you, I spray my mask when I need to put it on, when I go among them other people over there, you know, the people who live on the other side of the fence, pass over there, way over there on the other side. When I got to come in their presence, I spray my mask with colloidal silver. I got Nasir oil lined my nostrils, back of my throat. And then I got D3, K2, black seed oil. I got oregano oil. All right. I'm not sure if y'all heard of what's the name? Supernova, Queen Afua's son. He got an immune builder. And then of course, the black elderberry. And then this complement essential vegan nutrients. Everything that you're going to need. The zinc. You understand what I'm saying? The C. Of course, you need vitamin D. But the most beautiful thing is I go out and I kiss the sun every day. You understand what I'm saying? So they had recently, and I had it on my show, a pimp, a drug dealer, put out a commercial that everyone should take the jab. I mean, he all decked out with the, you know, the jewelry on it. Like, yeah, man, in my business, you know, I'm out here in these streets. You understand what I'm saying? So people, I come and I sell things. This is how he was selling. I'm like,
where did they find him? Oh my.
So, but this is who they're using to appeal to the average person, so they can start fabricating them numbers to get them numbers up. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. No.
But they not. I don't see them winning. I everywhere I look, I see they got a fight on their hands.
If you would see the news here in Atlanta and you would see the white women protesting outside of the schools, I'm talking about white women. I'm talking about Karen and her sister. You understand what I'm saying? With like with magic markers, like right there on the spot, making their signs like, look, they are protesting. They are protecting their children. And when you watch their countenance and their body language, they mean business, man.
Oh yeah.
If only we took that serious.
I'm sorry.
If only we were that serious about our children.
Yeah. The children because in DC they just passed, I don't know if you heard, DC they passed the ordinance where children as young as 12, Griff, 12 years old can get the jab in school without their parents' consent or knowledge. You ain't even gotta tell your parent. It can be a secret. It could be our secret. 12.
Okay, so let's roll our minds back to everything Dr. Baruch talked about, everything Dr. Finch, Dr. Clark, and Baruti talked about, everything Ashwa Kwesi talked about, Francis Cresswell. I can keep naming them. It all said the same thing, and we all in one accord. We need to do something for ourselves.
Yep.
Feed ourselves, protect ourselves, educate ourselves. Elijah Muhammad been saying,
That's right.
yeah, Marcus Garvey schools all across this country where we didn't send our children to these people to be educated and miseducated by these people. We educated our own. You understand what I'm saying? And here we are faced with that very same thing today. You mean to tell me you in all good consciousness, you're going to dress your child up and put them in the car and drive them to your enemy's school and put them in the hands of your enemy, and then you go to work, leaving your child with it? Hell no. I'm glad all of mine are grown. For real, man.
I'm in that struggle right now, so I understand.
Oh, man, no. I don't know what I would have to do, but no, you staying here with me. I'm not putting you in the hands of my enemy, who I already know is going to miseducate you because they tried to miseducate me.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay with that. Like, yeah, no. We're not doing that. So recently, the head of the Marine Corps said, "No, I'm not going to sign off on you."
I heard about that. That's what I mean.
All of my troops.
The pushback is so great. You know what I'm saying? You got too many people in authority. That's, because in order for you to implement your plan the way you really want to, Beast, you need the minions on the street. You need those military might. You need all the doctors on board and all your scientists, and it's just not happening. You got them, but you ain't got all of them.
Yeah, there's some of them that are hardcore, man. Yeah, there's some of them that are really hardcore. They like, man, the hell with this.
Right.
Yeah, they hardcore. Yeah.
And so it's a war. It's a battle going on because everybody ain't gonna bow down.
Exactly. But to circle back around to this music thing, they're not worried about it, sisters. They're not worried about a psychological covert war having to be waged on in an industry that they have remade without consciousness in it.
Yeah.
Name me, and I'm not putting y'all on the spot.
No, that's
name me one conscious artist right now. Just off the top of your head.
In mainstream, that was gonna be one of my questions to you. Who out there is doing it right? Who out there is the role model, the one we can point to and say, they doing it right?
We could point to a few people and I can name them for certain things. I wouldn't say it's going to hit you in the chest like a Public Enemy hit you in the chest. And artists of that era, that time. These artists are not going to hit you in the chest like that. You heard of Toby Iwigwe out of Houston?
Yes.
The brother,
Alkema, you have. That's the brother that he does it with he always has his family with him.
Right.
His wife also performs as well.
I know.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, you gotta.
I'll send you a link.
I need to know him.
That brother has an energy, and I see it. There's just certain things I can't wrap my brain around now, because when that thing come up, be like, bruh, come on. No.
Well, what about Wise Intelligent?
Of course. Wise is always on point.
Yeah.
Wise, I was trying to give you somebody new, somebody fresh, somebody, you understand what I'm saying? Wise can put out a song tomorrow and it's new to me. He can put out an old song tomorrow. But Wise is going to be one of those kind of individuals that's etched in stone.
Yeah, but what about the ones that the youth are listening to?
That's what I was about to say. So I think the baby out of Atlanta had a song, one song, something about the streets. I'm like, cool, all right. But other than that, I haven't heard from the J. Cole's, Kendrick Lamar's, because what happens with me being a 61-year-old man, granddad, I hear too many niggas in the first verse and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. I thought we grew past that though, for real. I mean, when we gonna grow up? When is hip hop gonna grow up?
I think that's the question right there. Yep. And someone told me before, the issue with hip hop is that it doesn't allow people to grow up.
Right. I
That's
put out an
right.
album, and I said, listen, I'm only looking for 10 people to purchase my album. That's it. I'm good. I'm happy with that. I don't ever have to go on tour. I don't ever have to do whatever. I'm not making this for that reason. I'm making this for the reasons that the creator deposited in me to make it. You understand what I'm saying? Music is in my bloodstream, and I'm making it for those that seek to elevate their consciousness and want to pop their finger, nod their head, and shake a little something while they're doing it. You understand? I don't mind. I don't mind giving my art form to them and sharing my art form with them. I am not trying to put my music in a hostile environment where I got to convince some goddamn 16-year-old to do the latest dance to my stuff. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. I really don't. I don't need my granddaughter's age group to vibe to my stuff. I don't really need that. You understand? That's really not going to do anything for me. I'm not going to be a 61-year-old trying to make trap songs to continue to trap our people into this low vibratory frequency.
No
You
doubt.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think about the story the Minister Farrakhan told about what Too Short told him. You remember that story?
Nah, tell me.
He said Too Short told him one time that he went to the record label, his record execs, and told them that, hey, you know, I'm tired of making this kind of music. I want to make something a little bit more upbeat, more higher elevated, more, you know. And they told him, oh, okay, Short, we hear you, but one more time, just make a raunchy dog degrading hit song, one more hit song, and we'll let you go ahead and do whatever you want to do after that. And I thought about that. I was like, that's powerful, man. When somebody else can usurp your talent and creativity in that way, in that manner, and take what you have and you really want to use your creativity for a high elevation, but they encourage, you know, but they encourage you to stay low.
Yeah.
For the money.
For the money.
Yeah. And then now they're saying that you got to get paid in cryptocurrency now. So really, you're not even going to really see it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like.
Right.
But anyway, so to sum this up, the idea of a psychological war has moved beyond music. It's infecting now. And it always has. I was just responsible for that particular area that I was in, which was music. But it's been affecting the 9 areas of people activity that Dr. Francis Cress-Welsing gave us. It's always affected the economics. It's always affected the education. I talked about the psychological covert war on hip hop, dealing with entertainment. Of course, the labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and adding one more, which is health. So these 10 areas have all been affected by a subconscious, psychological, hidden, covert war that's been waged against the souls of our people. Plain and simple. And the sad part about it now, and I need y'all to listen to this next part real carefully. They made it so, they made it illegal for you to tell the truth about history under the guise that you're coming to talk about critical race theory. So they feel so messed up about their past, they made it illegal for you to talk about it.
But that's the scheme to keep it going. That's it. Like you said, it's always been. So it's like, how were you able to enslave a whole population of people for 4 centuries? You did that by erasing their past.
Exactly.
And so here we are. I guess this is the same. It's just a continuation.
But
You
now
know,
they're
in
making
order
it
to keep your
illegal.
slaves docile, you have to keep them ignorant, in an ignorant state. And here we are.
And now they're making it illegal. They will put you in jail for even talking about it.
Mm.
Wow.
And now they're taking babies again. They snatching babies.
Well, they've always snatched babies, up to 400,000, I think. That's in foster care.
Mhm. I
Can
work
you
for foster
imagine
care.
that? A quote unquote free nation, you got 400,000 in foster care. You got 2.5 million in prison. You got about, at least, no exaggeration, at least 500,000 that are homeless. You got probably 9 times that amount needing some therapy because mental illness is set in now. Anxiety set in. People are killing one another just for nothing now. And these are the times that we're living in. And I said need to be very mindful of the people that we keep around us, even in the digital realm. We need to be very, very mindful. You talked about Harriet Tubman earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, because we're taught that we never speak about greats as being dead. So we speak of these individuals like they're alive and they're in us, and we call their name and we keep them alive in us. Would you believe that there's some idiots right now on YouTube with YouTube channels saying she never existed?
Ooh,
Oh my.
good God Almighty! I just met her great granddaughter.
No, they got a whole thing that she never existed. The United States
Wow.
government made her up.
Wow.
But you know, they say the same thing about the whole transatlantic slave trade.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, you
what
heard
are
that
you
one.
people smoking?
Yeah, I think these are plants put there to spark these kind of discussions and kind of thoughts, and then those who don't, again, just don't want to study or educate themselves, and they just latch on to information from different sources and take it and run with it without checking. They run with it. But I really think that these be planted ideas in the minds of our people,
right,
in these circles.
Yeah, and in some unguarded moment, it'll slip in the subconscious mind and it'll sit there.
Yes.
Something will trigger it, and here you are now. Oh man, yeah, slavery never happened. Huh? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have that discussion. It's like, bruh. So to wrap this up, I think we can say that some children are born older than their parents.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about in physical years. I'm just talking about
Right.
in
Right.
frequency. Because sometimes we'll see the child doing something at 2 years old. Says, you know something, that child's been here before. You understand what I'm saying? Some of the things that we channel, unbeknownst to us, that we're channeling it. Some people can have a quiet moment, go through that particular process and begin to channel. It's hard for a lot of us to do that because we're only using a small portion of our brains.
Yeah.
But when the ancestors speak, the ancestors will speak. And if you're in tune and in sync, you may not even want to be chosen, but the ancestors will choose you to speak through you.
No doubt. No doubt.
And you try to fight it sometimes. You're like, wait a minute.
No doubt.
I'm going to leave that right there.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Until we do part 2.
Yeah.
We never got to the subject, but yeah.
Not at all. I guess when you come packing a whole bunch of information in one brain, that's how it goes. It can go anywhere.
Right.
Tell them, Griff, where they can get your books and stuff.
Well, people can contact me directly, 678-557-2919. I do a show every single night. I'm supposed to be on right now, but I do a show every single night. It's called Serious Minds. And I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Instagram. I'm there. My website is www.professorgriff .me. I have 2 products that I have out now. One is the Serious Minds Brain Tonic, because I'm starting to see our people just can't recall things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? We don't know where the
Yeah.
damn keys are. We
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? A couple of times, a couple of family members left the car running in the driveway with the keys in it and forgot. You understand what I'm saying? Can't find a
Right.
cell phone, having to have alerts on the phone, on the computer, having to wake up an alarm, wake you up, and we just out of sync. You understand what I'm saying? My wife developed the formula, Serious Minds Brain Tonic, and for the brothers, I've developed my wife developed the resurrection formula for the brothers, 3:30 in the morning. And the brothers need to understand something. If you are in your 20s and you're suffering from ED, it's a problem. It's a problem with your thinking, your spirit, and your diet. You understand what I'm saying? And the weed that you've been smoking for 20 years is probably not the same weed that you used to get from your weed dude in the hood, because it ain't the same. And now you have an erectile dysfunction. You understand what I'm saying? And even at 5 o'clock, when it happens naturally, that don't even happen anymore.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? You underloved and oversexed.
Mm.
With the invention of the internet, you watch more porn now than, you understand what I'm saying? And so now nothing really stimulates you. A regular, a normal hug, you understand what I'm saying? The thing that would normally get you aroused, that don't even move you no more.
Teach.
So subsequently, we pour that energy into some of the songs that we're hearing. And now when we go to approach the woman 3:30 in the morning, we splacking it, beating it up, killing it, whipping it. You understand what I'm saying? Murdering it, and all these other terms that they use when it's referring to the womb,
Right.
to their mate. And I'm like, wow, bro. I'm like, what you supposed to do after you beat it up? Like, what happens after that? It's like, well, like,
Right.
help me out. I'm just, nah, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So here we are years later, having to have the same conversation again, but this time we've come up with formulas, methodologies, but here we are in the midst of the pandemic, and we can't even call the brothers to a retreat, an all men's retreat, so we can kind of have iron sharpen iron, so we can reset. You understand what I'm saying? And help that next generation come into manhood. It's very, very difficult. There's some brothers, I know some good brothers that got the tools to do it, but we're living in the time that we're living in, and we can't do this online. It's cool to say that, it's convenient, but that can't happen online.
No.
For the last year, I've been a firearms instructor, teaching women self-defense and that kind of thing. And I'm telling you, man, I've opened my classes up to everyone, but I rarely see the brothers. Mainly all women.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Why do you think that is?
Brothers have this well, first of all, brothers are sensitive. Too damn sensitive. And then, excuse my language, these Negroes are cute. Al Kamal, did you hear what I said? These Negroes are too damn cute. They spending more time in the mirror than y'all two.
Lord.
You understand what I'm saying? They don't even understand the purpose of knowing how to set your auric field up and your energy field up to protect your family. So when they always think it's a physical thing. No, bruh. We want you to be the whole man and take your rightful place in the family.
Right.
So much so now, they just kind of let, and to be honest with you, on the flip side of that, I can't let y'all off the hook.
That's all right.
A lot of masculine women, not masculine looking women. Some of them are out there, but I'm talking about masculine women that won't allow men to be men. You understand what I'm saying? And for the sake of staying in a relationship, we have to kind of, it's like, bruh, no. And you being the real masculine man that you should be don't mean raising your voice or putting your hands on anybody. It means stand up and take your rightful place. And with a soft, reaffirming and confirming, nah, love, I got it. She'll let you have it as long as you got it. But get it, bro, and follow through. I'm talking about everything from the damn cable bill to setting the garbage out every Thursday and Tuesday. Come on, bro. Get it. If you say you're going to get it, then get it. I've seen so many times right here in Atlanta, women with fake stuff stepping out of a Mercedes-Benz truck, a Maybach or whatever. The Negro sitting in the passenger seat, but she gets out to pump the gas. I'm like, wow. Okay. The roles are truly reversed.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even to have the conversation, it's almost like we're living in this cancel culture.
Yeah.
They've canceled me so many times. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. You can cancel me. I'm straight. Yeah, I've been
You know
canceled.
you in good company.
Exactly. Well, I'll just go to all the people y'all cancel. I'll just go talk to them then. I'm like, well, I have it for you anyway, because you understand, for example, someone wanted to interview me, right, this week, and she might be listening. And I said, can I ask you something? I said, why you want to interview me? I'm just curious. Why me? Out of all of these people that you can interview, why are you calling me? I'm not, yeah. Because I'm going to let you know straight up, I'm not biting my tongue. And if you ask me some fly ass question off the rip, I'm just going to answer it. Because if you ask the question, you own the answer. You understand what I'm saying? So nah, if you ask me something cute and fly, and you think you're getting slick with the tongue, oh nah. Creator prepared me for that. You know, I've been in 4,885, now 86 with this one, interviews in my life.
Wow.
I'm talking about since I was a teenager now. Through the Public Enemy years, right on up to present. So I'm like, come on, ain't nothing you could ask me. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. So I'm saying all that to say this. Soleil did a song called Pranayama off her album Encoded. And she, in the hook, she talked about, you know, the vamp. She says, be here now, be present. So I'm looking at y'all's faces right now. Y'all are present. But I'm looking at y'all, but guess who comes with y'all when y'all are present? Our ancestors. Because our ancestors speak to us from within us. So we are present. Why you think when I went through that thing with Nick Cannon, them people didn't come at me or come for me? They didn't come for me. I was back sharpening my sword. I'm waiting. Come on. Nah.
Because that means they're gonna have to put you on Front Street. They don't want to put you on front.
Nah, they don't want to put me on front.
Oh, they know.
Nah, they know.
They know.
That's chess.
Exactly. And then I still didn't go publicly and blast that brother. He's 20 years my junior, and I said I'm gonna give this brother time enough in his life to learn this lesson. Because I got it in my 20s. So I got it. I got it. But anyway, I love you all, sisters of life. Next time I come on, I'm gonna ask my wife to come on with me because we got to start showing this balance.
Please.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
I miss
All
her.
right.
I miss her energy.
Oh, okay. Give thanks. But we'll talk again. Anytime y'all want to do part 2, let me know.
Thanks.
Okay.
Griff.
Thank
All right,
you.
Griff,
So
thanks. Y'all
much.
take care.
All right.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace.
All right, family. That's our Empower Hour. As every week we ask that you share. Just share the information, please, and get it out there. You never know who's on that other end of the share who can use some of the insight that has been shared this evening. And as you can see, the psychological covert war in hip hop, we touched. you know, we touched it, but you know, Griff ain't one that you can hold in the box. He we did a whole lot of bouncing around this evening, which was good stuff. Hanifa, you want to share anything?
No, I'm good. I just no.
Okay. Well, all right, family. Until next week. Take care of each other out there. Peace.
Peace.